I can see me.
Okay, good. All right. Hopefully the lighting, you changed it up a little bit. It's good.
I got some blue. I got some true blue for the true blue crime.
To make your eyes look the true color that they are.
Green.
Let's get in the zone. Let me get my phone
the zone.
to get in the
zone.
Ow! Hi, and welcome to the Disco Ball Discourse.
Howdy, everybody.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I know when I say that and then we record it later, I'm like, why did I say tonight? They don't know what time it is. But you know what? This is another nighttime episode, and it's kind of good because we have kind of a dark shadow cast over tonight's episode.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us in this moment.
Yes, in this moment, whatever time you're watching it.
Well, she's been telling me about this for a long time. And this particular true crime, this is one of those true crime girls, just true criming it up all the time. And she's really drawn to this one. And I'm sure she'll talk about why later on in the podcast. But it's an interesting turn of events that has happened here. It's not just, murder, cops catch them in a cop chase, yaha, and then they go to jail. It's an interesting thing. So we're going to try and jam pack a lot of information that's in this one's head into a shorter episode today.
Yes, because I watch and consume and listen to a lot of true crime, a lot on podcasts, on YouTube. That's why I like this platform so much because of what I do, because it's where I'm interested in things and where I get a lot of my information. And like he said, it's not because like, yay, this is so fun and sensational. These are real people. These are real stories. I'm consumed by it for a couple of different reasons, but it really is to share the information and to process it and to hopefully find some justice.
And usually all of your true crimes that you listen to and watch, they get caught.
Yes, there's something solvable at the end, and I think it's because it's
justice is served.
Yeah, it's satisfying in some way to know that there's people out there really doing their jobs, and that the families that are suffering from what they're suffering from get some sort of closure. It doesn't fix it, doesn't change it, it doesn't undo it, but some sort of closure.
Yeah, so what true crime are we going to talk about tonight?
Okay, so this is the Lori Vallow, Chad Daybell case. There's so many other people involved, but they're the two major players in what unfolds.
Well, how does it all begin? So basically, what happened with Chad Daybell? How did he come to meet her?
Chad Daybell, sorry to correct. So these two people met in church at a not church-related event. It started out that way, but it's kind of an offshoot. It's like if you want to go to it, go, but it's not like enforced by the church. And when I do talk about the church, talk about the Mormon church. I was raised as a Latter-day Saint member, raised my kids that way, and that's kind of why this hits so close to home, is because I want to protect it. I want to understand why people would go to a place like this. So a lot of things in the church talk about being prepared in just a general type of way. And there's, I've even been to a preparedness conference before, and it's just talking about, having things that you need to keep your family safe and prepared in the case of a natural disaster or a loss of a job or anything like that, just about being prepared for your family. Anyway, some of these conferences, and this is in the Utah, Idaho, Arizona area, people will have these conferences and they kind of have people come and speak about different things. So they met. Chad Daybell was a speaker, speaking on some books he was writing and some near-death experiences that he had. And so Lori comes to these conferences as an interested person and wants to meet him at his book signing, and they just start chatting and they start to develop this relationship over their offshoot beliefs from the general church. They started to have more, let's talk about the near-death experiences, and they just started getting really off track.
Were they both married?
They were both married. Lori had 3 kids and Chad had 5 kids. And and so
LDS, man.
Yeah, I know. I only had 3 kids. I'm such a loser.
Only 3.
No, but they were what you would consider doomsday preppers. And so that's not a positive spin on the way to describe it, but some people are being prepared, but then there's the doomsday preppers, and those are the people that are usually taking it too far.
Oh, okay.
That the end of the world is on a specific date, and we're all going to live in a tent city, and only these people are going to make it. And so it's on the really scary side of what they believe to be reality. And so they took things a whole different direction.
So they met each other. They were kind of both like, oh, well, to be respectful, I'm crazy this, I'm crazy that. To an extent, I mean,
Yes.
they were going off on their own.
Their crazies met up in the
Exactly.
middle. Yes.
So their crazies were just playing off of each other.
Yes.
So then what happened? Okay, so they met at the book event. Then they started to kind of talk a little more. I'm guessing, here's my number, here's your number. Kept on talking. Then what perspired after that?
So they ended up talking a lot, and then these other people that were interested in it was a small group of people. They would go and like travel to other places and meet at each other's houses and stay for the weekend and do all these things. They were doing podcasts together on their specific beliefs, and they were just meeting as these small groups. Well, things just started to get a little out of hand. Chad Daybell kind of ended up taking the lead and becoming somewhat of their prophet in a way. So this is a very cult-like thing that happened here. And so he was telling them, I can tell you if someone is good or evil, and they have a light and a dark scale, and I'll give you a number. And I'm talking about you, I'm talking about your family members, I'm talking about your kids, I'm talking about celebrities, I'm talking about people. And he would make this chart of people who had a light and a dark scale. And if you were on the dark scale, you were possessed by a demon.
Not even just a bad person. You were possessed. You were a bad person because you were possessed?
Well, the dark scale would slide, and then you would become possessed, and they would say, oh, now he's a zombie. Now she's a zombie. No, literally, it's so dumb. No, it's so dumb. You should have heard the court cases where they had to talk about zombies, and people are like, are you serious?
Now, just to be clear here, though, and I know I'm kind of jumping ahead, they actually had a following. Correct?
Yes, they had a following. So this wasn't 3 or 4 people that just decided to be crazy. They had people that would do that, and they would text and call each other and speak openly about who's a zombie. And I mean, not even creative. And it's just ridiculous because grown-up adult people.
Did you see The Walking Dead?
Basically, they took so many things from movies and TV, and I mean, they were calling her 8-year-old son or 7-year-old son a zombie. Yep, he's possessed now. He's a zombie. Yes. So in doing that, you can see how this is leading down.
Sure, he wasn't a T-Rex.
He would have.
An 8-year-old boy is a T-Rex.
He would have wanted to be.
Times.
That's a lot more fun. And you know what? They were kind of thinking with their 7 and 8-year-old minds doing things like this. It was so ridiculous. They were opening portals.
Man, if I could do that and just like go to Walmart.
That's the place you could open a portal and you're going to go to Walmart.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't want to warm up the car and everything.
Okay, but
bam.
You could be in New Zealand. Like, you could be at the pyramids.
I don't think there's a Walmart in New Zealand.
Okay, well, I don't know what you're looking
actually,
for.
yeah, I could shop around at Walmarts and get the lowest prices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the world.
In the world. It'd be great.
You know what? If you
I could go to HEB.
Okay, actually, that's a good way to use a portal. That's a good one. True. Go get the sushi at HEB.
Yes.
So anyway, these people completely off their rockers, and that's why they would keep it in this little group, is because it was like, okay.
As usually cults do.
Yes, it's like, we're saying some things, and they, instead of saying, we're crazy, let's keep it a secret, they were like, we are so elevated because Chad had near-death experiences, and I guess most of these people had or claimed to have had them. And so they're like, no. The veil has been lifted from our eyes. And it's really hard to live on earth when you have so much knowledge and so much access to this power. We're very powerful beings.
Usually how cults are, like, oh, I am the leader, the prophet, the Messiah, whatever it is. I'm this high-ranking person. And because you found me, there's a calling. And they'll sit there, and usually cult leaders, they'll play off of that. A lot of people are looking for longing and purpose and all the good stuff that usually we are as humans. And then you find this person who, he says he's this great thing, and he says, I'm important. Oh,
And that's how, I mean, because of that, he was able to get the people around him to do terrible things. And that's why we're here like, oh, okay, this is a cult story, whatever. No, this is a cult story with the most horrible of all endings and the most unbelievable turn of events.
And really, turn of event, I don't think, did any of them commit suicide?
Nobody committed suicide, but a lot of people are not alive at the end of this.
Keeping you on your toes.
Yeah, who knows? No, they were given assignments. They were to kill the other people because zombies.
What's his name? Charles
Manson?
Yeah. This is very Manson-like.
Yes, no, yeah, to send the other people to do the dirty work in the name of the leader, the prophet, or whatever.
Yeah.
And to me, because I hold prophets and religion and things like that in such high regard as far as your real true spirituality, to see people be led down such a nasty, disgusting path, which is fine. Look, do you go talk about all the zombies and be in a cult? That's fine. That's your right to do that. But the lives that were taken because of it that were not involved is what's unfair.
So you're talking about the lives with an S. So this isn't just, they got in a big fight, one of them stabbed each other.
No.
Okay, he's telling her, we were married in a past life, and me and Jesus, we were, cutting it up. We were drinking all the water and wine and all the good stuff.
Yes.
We were fishing buddies.
Yeah.
So now, are they still married at the time?
Yes, they're married to other people. She's married to someone named Charles. Well, they had been having casting. No, he's a good guy. This Charles is a good guy. And they were having castings about...
I thought you were saying Charles Manson was a good guy.
No. Charles, her husband. They were having castings because a zombie he turned into a zombie because someone named Ned overtook him and he was evil. And so this guy... Charles is having a conversation with Lori. They're already not doing good. Like they're having a separation. And she is telling him, she said, you are a zombie and I can do whatever I want about it. And there will be no consequences and watch your back. Yes.
Telling her ex-husband.
Yeah. Well, they're still married at the time. Okay. And so he calls the police and he says, listen, she's telling me the wildest things. She said, not that she's immortal, that she's, oh gosh, I can't think of the word right now, but she's like, I don't really need to eat. I don't really need to sleep, and I can destroy you.
Divine or?
It's
celestial,
something like that. But she was like, I'm here on the earth, but like I don't really need all this earth stuff, and I am free from consequence, and I can destroy you. And since you're not you, and you're this Ned, I can destroy you. So
I'm sorry. That reminds me of those geeks at conventions that are like, I want to make your head explode.
She sounded that dumb and she meant it. And he was actually terrified for his kids' safety. Their kids together. They're her children. They adopted a little boy that was a family member's that couldn't take care of him. So he's a special needs 7-year-old with autism. And then she's got a 16 or 17-year-old daughter that's hers from a previous marriage. And he's worried for the kid's safety. Can't find him when he gets home. And he's telling the cops, he's like, I'm worried. I'm scared for my life. She said she would destroy me, and I think she's very serious. So...
maybe not with brain powers.
It wasn't in the end. So she has this brother, and his name is Alex, and he is her sidekick buddy, for better or for worse. I guess they were the closest of the two siblings in their own family. He comes over one morning. Charles, the husband, comes over. They claim to have been in an altercation, and her brother Alex needed to kill him, shoot him with a gun in self-defense.
Self-defense.
That's what he claims. He said Charles came in with a baseball bat and was being threatening, and he feared for his life, so he shot him in self-defense. And the body cam footage of this is wild. This guy's dead. Alex is out sitting on the curb with a tiny little scratch on the back of his head, like, yeah, he totally attacked me, so I had to kill him, but whatever. And like just real emotionless. And Lori is being interviewed out in the front by the cops. She's like, yeah, it's so embarrassing. We like totally moved here 3 weeks ago. Like, sorry, neighbors. And she's giggling and everything's funny.
She's laughing while her brother just shot her soon-to-be ex-husband or husband at the time in the mix of things.
She was very detached. And so I've even seen the interview footage right after. I mean, not shedding a tear, not sad. And she's just like, well, like, this is how it is. And just really detached from it. And he is the first of many deaths.
So first one on the body count, husband/ex-husband.
Yes.
Of Lori.
Yes, because they were in the process of a divorce, but they weren't there yet. And this is how it literally ended. So here's Chad, the prophet, I guess, in some way. And he lives in Rexburg, Idaho. And he is there with his wife. They have 5 kids. They're all grown adults. And so only one of them lives at home. And his daughter and her husband live across the street, whatever. But they've got adult children. And his wife, Tammy, works for a school. Sweet lady, glasses, librarian, just the sweetest mom in the whole world. And she mysteriously passes away at 40-something years old, late 40s, 47, 48 years old. He said he woke up because she was falling out of the bed because, dead people fall.
Oh, I was about to say, was she having a stroke or?
He said he just woke up because he felt her falling out of the bed and she was dead because she sadly passed away. Yeah. And he said, no autopsy, none of that stuff. No, let's just do it. Oh, also let's have the funeral in 2 days and let's bury her in the town that she's from. And was very detached, fake crying, people said, very mysteriously not upset.
He fake cried.
He tried.
Yeah, he put an effort. The chick, what's her name?
Lori.
Lori was like, oh, teehee, TikTok. Oh, God, this will be great on my Instagram.
Yeah, basically, she was that way. But he had, his children were devastated. That's their mother. It needed to look like, oh, it's so sad, mother passed away. And they said, she was a little out of breath. Sometimes she'd have to sit down a little bit more. I'm sorry. I'm 45 years old. She was a few years older than I am now. Do I feel like I'm 18? Absolutely not. But they were like, yeah, she was just getting there. And then one day she just passed away.
I don't know what you're talking about. I have a home set up for you and everything ready to go.
So Tammy is buried and it's like, oh, boo-hoo, let me be pretend sad. 2 weeks later, Lori and Chad are on the beach in Hawaii having professional wedding photos done because they got married. 2 weeks. That isn't weird.
Now, from what I've heard, though, LDS people don't mess around.
Listen, now that's fair for you to bring up because on all other podcasts and discussions, and even in the court cases themselves, his lawyer tried to highlight that. They're like, don't Mormons culturally get married very fast?
2 weeks, though, is really short, especially for a passing.
Even
like
Chad Daybell's mother, who was put on the stand to be interviewed, she says, yes, that's usually that way. It's usually younger people who do that. And even then, 2 weeks is ridiculous, especially with the passing of a spouse. It was just too much all at once. And it was actually so weird that the police were like, something's not right. I don't know if they got a call from somebody else. But while they were in Hawaii, Tammy, her body, which is Chad's wife that passed away, her body was exhumed.
Ooh.
Her body was exhumed. They were suspecting some foul play. So they were going to do an autopsy after the fact, which was disclosed as she died from asphyxiation.
Ooh.
Yeah. You don't just go, oh, well, she was sick and passed away. No, she had marks on, I think, her throat and her shoulders, defensive wounds once she was looked at. And that's why he didn't want her to be looked at.
Yeah.
So she was suffocated. The day after Tammy's body's exhumed, Alex mysteriously dies. And his autopsy doesn't, I think it said an embolism or something like that. And people in the family were like, yeah, I mean, like, he wasn't a healthy guy and he ate burgers and steaks and didn't take care of himself. Okay, fine. Alex is still, I think, maybe just in his 50s. He dies. Okay. So this isn't even the most shocking of any of this, which is crazy. These 3 people all passing away is ridiculous.
Yeah, so we've got 3 graves already within 3 months. Let's say 3 months.
Oh, yeah. It's a short period of time.
Once a month.
So then while Lori is in Hawaii with Chad, and they're the newlyweds or whatever, the police go down there because her kids are missing. The grandma...
Now, her 3 kids?
Actually, so it's just the 2, the 7-year-old boy with autism and the daughter who's a teenager. I think she was 17. And so her name's Tylee and his name is JJ. And I forget, in telling all these of events, there's a lot of victims involved, and I don't want to leave their names out because this is what it's about. It's about honoring their unfair passings. Yeah. And so, they're missing the grandma, causing for a welfare check. And so Lori has been asked for weeks to produce the children. And she's like telling all her family members and everything, don't worry, they're in a safe place and I have to take care of it. You don't know what I'm going through, claiming that the grandma wants to kidnap them and just making a whole case about it. And so she doesn't produce the children. So the cops go get her, extradite her back to, I guess it's called extradition if she wasn't in jail or anything, back to Idaho, and they take her into court and she has no kids. And she's like, and I just don't. And so there's a lot going on. The detectives are working on it. They have been working on it. They go to search Chad Daybell, her new husband, his property. And they'd been there a couple of times, looked in the house, tried to get things. Well, they decided to search the grounds outside of his house, and they found both of the children's bodies buried in his yard. She was charged in Idaho. They brought her in. They search his property, and he's taken in too, because obviously it's his property. And the children, I'm not trying to say this to be weird or sick. I just want to say this because of how terrible it was. Finding the dead children on your property, horrible. The condition they found them in, the little boy was duct taped hands, mouth, and everything together with a plastic bag over his head, and he was put in a trash bag. Terrible. The daughter, Tylee, was found. They had to find dental records, and they found a piece of her jewelry, but she was chopped up in pieces and her remains were burned. Oh. So this isn't gonna fly. Like, she got sick and she passed away, and the little boy, he tripped and fell. Yeah, and ate a Lego and he passed away. I mean, this is blatantly, obviously murder.
Just to recap here, we've got Alex who killed Charles. Mm-hmm. And then somebody, don't know 100%, but it's probably Chad, killed his wife.
Well, actually, we think it's Alex because they've tracked his phone to the church down the street parking lot at that time of night. And then it went dead, and then it came back, and then he went to grab something to eat. So he was in Rexburg at that location at that time. So we think
Alex was the hitman. More than likely, that's where things are coming out. Mm-hmm. Okay, so Alex knows their dirty secret. So then Alex has an aneurysm? Is that what you're saying?
Or some sort of blockage or something. It's kind of fuzzy, and that's what's weird. And here's the thing. Alex was married to someone in part of this weird group or whatever. At the time, he'd only been married to her for a few weeks, a month or so. And that he told her the day before, he said, I think they're making me their fall guy.
Get ready for this one, though. Then they go and kill JJ, and starts with a T.
Tylee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tylee. So then they go and actually brutally murder her kids. Mm-hmm. Now, you said that he had 5 kids, but most of them are grown.
Yes, and for on the scale of the sheet, the light and the dark, his kids all light.
Oh, well, he made the sheet. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course.
He raised them.
Yeah, but her kids, dark zombies, totally. Her ex-husband, totally dark zombie.
I mean, the autism, that's what it was. He was possessed.
That's what, 100%. And she, to this day, whenever she's been interviewed, she's like, it was so hard being a special needs mom, and it was so tough. And her son, the only living child that she has left, is an adult. He does a podcast over this, and he's healing. He's seeing a counselor. I don't want it to sound like, he's just trying to get out here and be famous for this. No, his heart is broken. He's torn. He's trying to deal with it.
You've shown me some of it, and he doesn't even call her mom or my mother or anything. He says her name. Look at her. She is so crazy.
He's trying to make sense of what happened because he suffered a terrible, great loss. Charles was his stepdad, but dad to him for many years. And then he lost his brother and sister. For what reason?
So 144,000 people is what Chad says that are going to be allowed to move forward from the earth with Jesus whenever he comes back.
That's actually known through other religions or people, so that's not an uncommon thing to be known. But nobody, even if that's true, no one knows who that is. No one's called them to be that, so I believe. And so he's like, nope, that's me. And me and Lori, we're mom and dad of all this group, and we're the leaders, and we're going to decide. And so, by the way, Charles, Lori's husband, Tammy, Chad's wife, they had insurance policies that they were collecting on them as well. And And so also on the kids, because JJ got Social Security, Tylee got Social Security from her father that had mysteriously passed away a few years ago. That one's up in the air. And Lori's ex-husband, or he passed away, and so there were a lot of insurance policies to be collected. So what is thought is that they were collecting all of the money. They were going to make a tent city. They were going to build buildings and be worshipped, and all of these things were in the plans, and they got caught instead. And actually, funny thing, when Lori called, because there's recorded tapes of the calling the insurance companies, she called. She's like, my husband sadly passed away from a heart attack. Lies, he was shot. And I'm going to need to go ahead and I'm the beneficiary on that. And they go, no, ma'am, actually, you're not. He changed that to his sister.
Oh.
Yeah, it was $1 million.
Oof.
He knew, he was scared for his life. He made a police report. He was doing this because he was scared, and he called and he made his sister the beneficiary.
Smart man.
No, thankfully he was picking up on what was going on.
Yeah,
he tried really hard. So at the end of this, they're both taken to jail. There are several trials that I waited years to watch, and watch every single second of them, because YouTube did stream them. Several channels stream them. So I watched all of hers and all of his, and I wanted to tell you what the convictions were.
Okay, yeah, and didn't you say who was the guy who got an interview with her?
Oh, Nate Eaton.
Nate Eaton
from East Idaho News.
Yeah.
Yes.
Apparently, he was kind of the goat on all of this.
Oh, he was the man. He wouldn't chase him down in Hawaii. I mean, he was on top of it.
He was straight up like, hey, why'd you kill your husband? Just,
no, he was after him. Where's the kids? Where's the kids? I have kids. I know where my kids are.
Yeah.
And he's not a not nice man or anything, but man, as far as reporting goes, that man is it. He is awesome. He's followed the case from the day he chased them to Hawaii to today. I watch him today talk about appeals and things like that they have in court. So he's been all over this case, and he's credited highly for getting as much information as he could.
So yeah, what did they actually get convicted of?
Well, so there was the like the insurance fraud and the Social Security fraud, because she was still taking all of the money. They had been deceased in the ground, passed away, gone, and she was still collecting on things like that. So that is huge fraud. You're not supposed to do that. Attempted murder, attempted murder, attempted murder. So in the end, all of those things for Lori herself.
Now, what was the attempted murders on? Attempted.
So the attempted, on the kids and even on Charles. So because she had such a hand in there, and they did such a great job of proving, girl, you are involved so hard. Like, they didn't find her with the gun that she pulled the trigger, but she was so highly involved in it and proved so clearly in court that she has a conviction of 7 life sentences.
Oof.
The evidence was so completely clear that she had such a hand in this. They read texts, they found locations, they had other testimonies from other people, and it is so blatantly clear that this was because of them.
So it wasn't assisted murder or something like that. They ruled it as, what is it, 4 counts of attempted murder?
Attempted murder. I can't remember how many
and
counts.
Fraud.
And then all of the fraud, and everything just piled and piled and piled. And she blames the judicial system because the lawyers are mean and they tell stories.
Well, but who was her lawyer?
Oh, her lawyer. It's her. She was her own lawyer. She represented herself.
Yes, because she was divine, or whatever that word that was.
And she's like, I have the right to a speedy trial, and you know what? Nobody can tell the story and do this like I can. I'm going to do it myself. And she was terrible. She was terrible. But you know what? All of us would be terrible, but she was so terrible, and they would object and they would stop, and she would argue with the judge. And she's you can't wear cuffs and everything in the courtroom. Some places do that, but so that the jury will see you in a fair way, they let her change out into regular clothes, but they had a vest on her underneath her clothes. Oh, it's a belt. I can't remember what the belt is called, and the bailiffs had a button. And if she were to get out of line in any way, shape, or form, bzz.
Ooh, a sharp belt.
Yeah, and it's not like, oh no, I remember that you here. No, like it was going to take her down. And she hated the belt, and she didn't want to wear it, but she was going to be her own lawyer, and she was being sassy pants 1000 in there. It was quite a show to watch.
The best time to be sassy is in court.
Yeah, over murders.
What about Chad? Messiah Chad.
So Chad, only in one state, his trial was wild, insane as well. His lawyer was quite a character and tried his best. In the end, Chad gets the death penalty. That's his sentence. One sentence, the end, that's it. Death penalty in Idaho. And of course, he's appealed it. Everybody can appeal whatever you want after you have a sentence, but good luck. Good luck. I don't mean it.
Well, best of luck to you to trying, but more than likely it's just going to be a waste of taxpayer money.
The evidence was so clear and it's so sad. But at the same time, in talking about a case like this, the reason I like it, or it's my favorite, I hate to say it that way, is because it's so in-depth, it's so interesting. The lives that were lost were just completely innocent, every single one of them. I don't know about Alex, because I don't know what happened. But, the kids and the spouses, none of them deserve to die. And to see at least that whatever reality Chad and Lori made up in their head, and that they still have made up to this day, they won't admit anything. Not at all. Well, didn't do a thing.
Also, didn't you say that they're perfectly fine being in jail because Jesus is going to come and break them out?
Oh, yeah. They've already been told, because their spiritual, connection that we can't understand, they've been told that they will be exonerated and they will be released from jail. Mm-hmm.
Bet.
And they've been in jail 5 years. In jail, and then sentenced, and then in prison, I guess, this past year or so.
And how long is it till Chad gets...
I don't know. And you know what? I deeply looked into what the death penalty is, and a lot of people did that were interested in this case, because you can be lethal injection, which is how a lot of it's done in the states, that they still do the death penalty. But Idaho still has the firing squad.
Yeah, and just to let you know, apparently the firing squad is not a bunch of hillbillies coming up with all their ARs. Apparently there's like 10 of them. 9 of them get blanks, and 1 of them gets an actual real bullet.
And you don't know who it is. And you have to do it in a special facility, because my boss and I, whenever he knew I was listening to the trial, I'm working, I'd have it on in the background, and I'm like, oh, sorry, I've just, this trial is going on in my head, and we discussed the death penalty, and he's like, look it up. Let's see. And Idaho does not have the facility. He's like, Idaho, just take them up the side of a mountain.
That's what I'm saying.
Just over there.
Take them literally just behind the courthouse.
Right.
Couple shotties over there.
Listen, we're from Texas, and so this is deeply ingrained within us. I mean, as people, and then as Texans or whatever. So
see, like whenever I think firing squad, I'm thinking flamethrower.
Oh, okay. I mean, make sure you don't miss, I guess.
No, you miss a little bit. Like, I got his legs. Oh, it's moving up. It'll get there. It'll do the job.
I don't know how they're going to do it, and I don't know the exact date. And then it's also, there's always so many legal things that can be happening. And I think he's sitting around like, oh, I'm going to appeal it, so whatever. And someday they're going to hear my story, and I'm going to just reason my way through how everyone's dead. It doesn't make any sense at all.
It's not my fault. I mean, I put the pillow on her face, and I held it down, and I just didn't let her breathe. I didn't really kill her, though.
No, I think he's too sissy. I really, really do. I think that's why they had, and they told Alex that he was just, the most blessed individual, and he was his sister's protector. And in the LDS church, there is something that you can get. You can get a blessing if you ever need it from a priesthood leader. You can also get patriarchal blessings, things like that, which are very sacred by people called to do so, and usually holding a very high priesthood. And it's a very spiritual experience. Well, they have a recorded blessing that Chad gave to Alex. It is so blasphemous to me. It's ridiculous.
Is he blessing him through himself or through Jesus Christ?
He didn't say Jesus. So yeah, no, the way you put it, he was,
I am blessing you.
Yes, I am blessing you. I'm bringing this. Now, he used the same kind of terminology you would as the LDS or Mormon people do, which is why it makes it so personal and blasphemous to me, because I'm like, that is so rude of you to take something so sacred and then make up your own stuff to manipulate this person.
Yeah, bodies be dropping real quick there.
No, yeah, it was a really short period of time, and everyone was in danger. down to the children. And it was terrible because, Lori's mom and her sister, during the time that the kids were missing and they couldn't get a hold of anybody, they went on TV to be interviewed and they defended her. And it's so sad. It's so sad because this is mom. This is my sister. And she's a good mom and we love her and she's a good person and don't have anything bad to say about her. If she says the kids are okay, then they're okay because we trust her. And I mean, weeks later, the children are found and mom and her sister are beyond devastated. And there's a jail phone call that's recorded that you can access online of her sister coming to her after that. And she is, crying the most painful tears and yelling. And she's like, why did you do this? Why didn't you just tell us we would have taken the kids? Why did you lie to us? Did you know we got on TV and defended you? Mm-hmm. And Lori, the whole phone call, not a tear.
Well,
not upset.
Like I said, bad with names. The interviewer guy from the news.
Yes, Nate Eaton.
Nate Eaton. He actually got an interview with her in prison. Mm-hmm. And she showed me that, and you would have thought her favorite boy band was coming into town. Yeah. So I'm watching this, and I'm no body language expert, but I'm fairly all right at it. And watching her body language of how she did, and it was funny because her body was turned to the side, crossed, and kind of pushed away whenever he would ask, and then she would kind of jump forward on stuff. But I'm looking at her face, and I'm trying to read her facial expressions, and I'm like, something is not clicking right. Something's not, her body language, but her face is not connecting. And she's like, oh, she's got lipo. I'm like, Botox, yeah, that put in, not taken out. But it's like coming off a little bit, like it's wearing down. I was like, oh.
Her adult son even said that. He's like, she was used to being she's a very pretty lady, and she's just aging in prison. And you don't get to do your eyebrows and your hair dye and your all the stuff, even whatever she's finding in there. So her face is deteriorating.
China? You can't get Botox in prison anymore?
I guess not. Because I think some people would go just for that.
She was getting mani-pedis, though, right?
You know what? They have prison things that they've discussed. Even Nate Eaton was like, I can't believe the questions I'm getting asked. They're like, how's her hair curly? How's her hair still blonde? Because no, she's in her 50s. She would be going gray. And how is her hair curled? So they talk about the prison beauty hacks because she's wearing makeup. You're not supposed to have makeup in prison. She's got curly hair and perfectly in place. You don't have products for that. So he's even been asked and had to discover how you do heatless curls and things like that because you're in prison for the rest of your whole life. You're still a woman. I guess there's stuff you want to do like that. So for her interview, she actually looks pretty good.
Commissary, like get your rollers.
Yes. No, you have to make it up. Like you take a t-shirt and you like tear it and then you roll your hair in it and then you spray it with water. In the morning, curls.
Beautiful.
Yep.
And curls. You women over here buying products off the internet.
I know. We could just be in this refrigerator getting strawberries for lipstick. Whatever they do. Hot Cheeto dust. I don't know. Whatever they do in prison. We'll have to look into that. I don't know. I just know a couple of things from TV, actually. But the end of what happened, and I don't want to say this is the end. It's so weird to think that, but because I still watch something about it. I'm not kidding you, every single day. And this started in 2017, 2018, that all of these things, they're meeting and they're going to the conferences and all of these things happen. And interesting, my daughter is going to school at BYU, Idaho right now. Mm-hmm. And she was home for Christmas. So she lives in Rexburg, Idaho, which is where Lori and Chad, where they were at the very end and actually where the kids were found. And so my daughter's like, Mom, I know you're all true crime and all of this in this case. Like, it's unsettling when you tell other people. And so she's like, that's weird, but since we're talking about it, where is this place where the kids were found that you keep talking about? Because I said I'm going to go visit her, but I'm going there first. Not to be creepy.
How far away is it?
7 miles from her apartment. She lives 7 miles from there. I sent her the little Google map of it and everything.
Now, the house, didn't you say that they tore down the house?
Yes. After that had happened and everything, Nate Eaton, of course, went and covered and they demolished everything on the property. It has been purchased by someone else and they are making it a memorial ground. And I think that's appropriately what it should be. That's why I would go. I'm not trying to go and be like, oh, let me see if I can see anything or feel a bad spirit.
Let me
I don't
see
want
the
to feel
backyard where the dead kids were.
No, that's so disrespectful and gross.
You'd be surprised. Lots of people.
There's people who want to do that.
Yeah, lots of people.
They can go there for that. I would like to go to the memorial and, send up my prayers to all of the family for those that were lost. It feels personal. First of all, you just kind of get to know what was going on. Like I said, because it was people from the church that I have roots in and still have family and roots in. It's like, don't do that to something that means so much to other people. Don't twist it. Like, that's the news. Whenever you hear the news about Mormons, it's something crazy and weird. I don't want that. I don't want it to be that way. They took their own direction and they're a bunch of weirdos, and don't call a Mormon anything that's not even fair. So it just became deeply personal. And then, like I said, to find her son, the living child that Lori still has left, his name's Colby, and his podcast is called The Scar Wars.
Nice.
He's a huge Star Wars fan, but he's discussing the scars and the reality, and he's got a family and he's trying to make it through every day too. And I appreciate and respect him as a person and a human being who's still got to live with this. So to sensationalize and make it all fun and isn't this crazy? Yes, it's those things, but at the same time, they're real people. So respectfully, I'm still involved in this case on my own.
Till death do you part. Huh?
Yes, I guess so, man. If I get up there and I see Alex, I'm gonna.
No, I'm thinking like Chad.
Oh, well, no, you know what?
Death do you part. You're like, I'm watching you.
This is funny. This is totally an extra. But he and Lori talked about having portals. So he would say when he lived in Idaho and she lived in her other place, that he would call her on the phone and say, I'm going to send you a portal and I want you to go to your closet and get in the portal tonight and we can like be close to each other. I don't know what that meant. And I'm sure it's extremely creepy.
7 minutes of heaven?
I guess in a portal. See, we shouldn't be laughing, but it's so ridiculous. Like, it's so dumb.
Well, and is he the one who was the poetry man?
Oh my goodness, he used to write fiction novels. Ugh.
Well, didn't you say that he like wrote her poems that were just horrific?
He wrote her this yucky love story, and I'm talking yucky. Like, it's so gross.
Is he like the thunderstorm or the storm?
He's the storm.
He is the storm.
Part of him anyway.
Yes, it's a common.
Yeah, he's the storm. But he wrote these while they were apart. He wrote different character names, but they'd been married in 15 other lives and had different names too. So there were James and Elena in this story, and he wrote it, and it sounded like a 7th grader writing a story about this girl he had a crush on. It was terrible. It was terrible. I mean, sorry, I don't even mean to insult a 7th grader. They could do better than that. It was terrible. It was gross. It was graphic. It was disgusting. Ugh. It was so gross. And it's like, really, guys? This was the leader? This was the guy that you were putting all your money, your finances, let me kill people for you, for this guy. And he was just a crummy fiction writer.
But no, he was the Messiah. Remember, he said he was.
I think he was the best friend to Jesus, but
yeah,
like he was supposed to be like the right hand or something.
Best friend, you're
Yeah, he gave people all sorts of weird titles, but his was always higher. He was always more spiritual of a person in the past life.
Well, you gotta love those people because it's like, oh, you made a joke, well, I'll make a bigger, better joke.
Oh, that was him.
Oh, well, you're a number 3 on the grayscale. Well, I'm a number 4.
Yes. Oh no, he was top tier on the light side of it.
I'm blinding.
Then, yes. Oh yeah. No, he was up at the top. Way up there. And he would like do the light in the dark for celebrity. There were celebrities on there, like Oprah. Like, what?
She was on the grayscale. I can just about guarantee you there.
It's just so weird that people can be so taken. And I just mean in any way where it's just like a little bit of truth or a little bit of this, and then I'm going to make you feel special. Did you have a near-death experience? Did you? And Lori comes out in court during her trial, and this is the only time she spoke during the first trial. The rest, she represented herself. There was a couple, and she had a closing statement that she got to say, and she says, well, I died during childbirth, and I saw the other side, and I saw my sister that had passed away. So I am this elevated being because I saw all of this. And you guys don't understand because I'm elevated. her family members all said, huh? They had never heard that before. And you would think if something like that really happened, I'm not saying those things don't really happen to people.
No.
Okay. They can really happen and those can be real experiences, but you're going to share it with someone very close to you, at least.
More than likely that would come out that, hey, you know, blood pressure spiked and they lost me for a second, but then they brought me back.
And I saw a white light, or I talked to my mother who'd passed away, or whatever it is, because I think you can share that in a really special place with someone that you can really trust, and they're going to go, okay, and I'm here for you as you navigate through life, but you don't have those experiences, and now you're a God.
So we're going to go ahead and kill this episode here. And
he couldn't help it. I
just wanted to murder the end of this episode. So anyways, we've got Chad Daybell and Lori, pretty much Daybell, murder spree fiasco of the LDS community and BYU, Arizona, Idaho, Utah, all of it, crime sprees.
Oh my goodness. I hate that it's related, but it is, but not BYU.
Everything.
No.
All of it.
No.
7 minutes away.
No.
7 miles, something.
That is
Anyways,
so crazy.
So this one right here is all about that true crime life. So if you have a particular true crime that you think is very interesting and we should look into it, she may already know about it.
Probably.
Or you may really help us out and give her something to focus on. So if you have it in your mind of, oh, I really wish they would check this out, let us know in the comments and we may do that episode specifically for you.
Yes. And thank you so much for listening. Thank you for coming along on this. This was completely indulgent for me. I could talk about this for days without taking a breath just because I'm so passionate about it. So thank you for listening. Thank you for joining us. And come back the next time for the Disco Ball Discourse.
Deuces.